Hey everybody, this is Erica, and you're listening to the Tales Untold Podcast, the show that knows no bounds for the paranormal and unexplained. It's made for the people who love when things go bump in the night. Today we're talking about the New England serial killer, and we will discuss the theories we could find and our own thoughts on these mysterious deaths.
Or human remains that were found. But yes, they are all dead. And we don't even know if it's a serial killer. I think it is, like, wholeheartedly. The police are being very strange about all of this.
It's definitely very vague.
It is, and we'll just get right into it.
It's also very close to home.
It is. Like, we are very close to Connecticut, and I was like, cool. Well, not cool, but cool, there's a serial killer state away.
Yeah.
Oh, they're on the border of Rhode Island? Oh, okay. That's not much closer, but they're in Mass.
Yeah.
Yep.
They are these findings are very close to home.
It's getting closer by the days.
And even the ones that weren't in Massachusetts, they were in cities and towns I had been.
Yeah, me too. Like, I've been in Connecticut. I don't know if I've specifically been in Groton.
Yes, I have. I have vacationed in these areas.
That's scary.
I've been there. Yes.
And now Springfield.
I used to live near Framingham.
That's scary.
Like, it's crazy to me just to see these things on the news. Then they're
right there. They're
places
drivable.
I know.
They're not like planes or like days away. They're right there.
Yes.
Basically, you can look at them.
Yes.
It's a little scary, I'm going to be honest, especially with how close the Springfield one is.
So welcome back to season 3.
We are finally back after the very short 6-week break.
The 6-week breaks are always short. There's never enough time.
There isn't, and we thought we were on top of things.
We were. And then we thought we were.
And then we lost 2 or 3 weeks.
Weren't. Yeah. And then we lost time.
In the 6-week break, we announced a mukbang thing that we're doing, Death Row. So that
has been tough.
Yeah, we do have one episode recorded. It was pretty fun to do.
Oh, it was absolutely fun. I cannot wait for it to officially come out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it will be out before this has been.
This release is 1 week from tomorrow.
I'll try my best, man. I'll try my best. I'll try. Got a lot going on. So I remember you telling me about there being a serial killer in, I think you said Connecticut.
Yeah,
and so that must have been the third or fourth.
I think it was when it was the third one, because that's when the rumors first started, and I was watching TikTok one morning like I normally do, and then the news thing caught me off guard because it was like serial killer in Connecticut. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then I saved to my phone and sent it to you. And I think I sent that to you like 2.5 weeks ago, and from that there have been 5 more remains found.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
That's bad. That's insane.
That's a lot
in a short amount of time since March 6th.
Yes.
To April now.
Yes. So the first one was actually the first 2 were both on March 6th, which I thought was interesting. Yes. One of them was Plymouth, the skull or the top
half.
Yep, the
missing
top part.
The nasal and the lower jaw, right?
Yeah, so like right at the top of your eye sockets, like right where the brow is, brow bone. That part was found by a hunter in the woods. He thought it was animal bones, but upon further
he went to the police and they were like, that's human.
Yeah, no, it was not animals. And then the same day, March 6th, Paige Fannin was found in Norwalk, Connecticut. When we were first reading, we thought it was strange that she was found by a scuba team.
Yeah.
Like, why did you decide that you needed to use a scuba team to find a person? But
even with the information that the authorities gave, I still have quite a few questions of how, what, where, when, like.
Well, I guess she had been reported missing the day before, on the
Right.
5th, that
She was reported missing.
right.
So usually missing persons you can't file unless it's like,
I think it's 24 hours, right?
I think it's 24 hours for children, but 48 hours for
Adults, really?
I think so. I'm not. Don't quote me on that, but
I don't know. I haven't reported
I've heard
missing
many
ever,
different. Yeah, I don't want to report anyone missing.
Yeah.
So that means she's technically been missing.
I feel like that's kind of weird because I don't know. People don't typically just walk away.
I feel like children. I feel like it should be sooner than a day.
Yeah.
Because after a day, unfortunately, they're usually
too far.
gone. Either way, dead or just out of the country.
Yeah. So it was definitely strange hearing that she was found by a scuba team. But then I continued reading, and it said that her personal belongings were found on the bank of a river. Now, that is strange in and of itself.
Yeah.
Did she do it because she was going to go drown herself and commit suicide in this? She wanted someone to find her eventually?
Maybe.
That seems strange.
There's just a lot of questions I have with this one.
But I'll tell you what, a river in Connecticut in March
flowing
is gonna be cold.
That too. But I feel like it's also gonna be super fast. So why would she be?
That depends on how much rain we had. It was kind of a rainy March. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm sure Connecticut couldn't have been too much different.
Yeah, probably had similar weather, but still, rivers are usually flowing pretty well.
So and even in the spring, there'd be melting snow and stuff. But it also depends on the part of the river. Some parts of the rivers are pretty mellow. It's more the temperature that would really be your concern. In March, that water is going to be so cold. You're lucky if it's above freezing cold.
I just think it was interesting. If you were going to commit suicide, drowning yourself is probably going to be one of the worst.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
Yes. So this was 108 miles from the Plymouth skull that was found. 108 miles from Plymouth.
That sounds like a lot, but that's probably only about an hour or two. No.
It'll be a couple hour drive.
2.5, 3 hours, something like that.
Yeah. And then it is 178 miles from the Groton, Connecticut.
From where?
No, Plymouth. From Plymouth to Groton is 178. So it's 8 miles from Norwalk to Groton. Did I say 8? 80. I feel like I said 8. 80 miles.
80 miles?
80 miles from Norwalk to Groton, Connecticut.
Interesting.
It feels kind of far away. So that was kind of the first thing that I thought of when the word serial killer was mentioned.
Was the distance?
Yes. And how the bodies were found, like the state they were in and how they died. Not necessarily literally how did somebody stumble upon these?
With the river one, I'm wondering why the clothes were there. And even with that one, I feel like police were also kind of vague because they were like, oh yeah, missing person, stuff found, scuba team, yeah. What?
Yeah.
There's nothing more?
Event.
Suicide, drowning, killing. Yeah. What happened to her? You don't just find someone underwater.
Right. And to me, that sounds like maybe she met up with, it doesn't even mention a car. So, did she park near the river and then walk there? Did she take a taxi and they left her there?
Was there someone else there? Was this foul play? Was there someone there? Was it her partner? Was it someone she knew? Was it
Yeah. Exactly.
How far away was this from a road? Did she have to walk through woods to do this? Or well, I mean,
exactly. Those none of those facts were even volunteered.
And I hate the way the police are handling this.
It's very bizarre, definitely, because they're adamantly saying it is not a serial killer.
But they're also not giving us information, which is making us all think that there is
something going on.
Yeah. And like, I know they probably don't want to stir public panic, but they are stirring
public panic anyway.
Yeah, it's creating a hysteria.
Yeah.
You think I used that word right?
You pronounced it wrong though. Hysteria.
Also about the skull, where is the rest of the remains?
Right?
Like,
I mean, what? So this could have just like somebody got murdered somewhere up a hill, and then with the rainwater, or the rain and the snow melting and washing things away, the rest of the body could be elsewhere.
And this could just be some random murder that was committed and has no connection with this, but
they all could be.
They all could be.
They all could be just random, and the snow is bringing them all.
But there was a slight connection between most of them. Not all of them, but most. They were found in the woods. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a lot of them, like near trails or something. Mm-hmm. Also, a body takes from anywhere to a few weeks to years to decompose, but if it's in the right temperatures in the woods with like wildlife and stuff, it could take as low as 10 days.
That's crazy. That's not a long time.
That's not.
So
we don't know how long that skull has been there, but
well, I wonder the state of this next person that was found on March 19th in Groton, Connecticut. The unnamed female who was 40 to 60 years old, and her body was in a suitcase near a cemetery. Now, I wonder...
So...
it doesn't even say a cause of death. Like, did she climb herself in there, zip it up?
No.
And then
hop
herself like a fish out of water over to the nearest cemetery? Like, this is where I'm being buried?
I don't think that's even possible.
It's not. In a cartoon, maybe.
That one also is just...
That's very bizarre. It says nothing about a cause of death. And that's just... It's not something that just happens.
That's not a normal Tuesday, find. You don't just see that. I mean, that did happen with a Randonautica incident and, someone was found in a suitcase on the side of the beach.
Randonautica is not what put that person there.
No, not at all. That was just... I don't even know.
A murder?
Pretty much.
A crazy person. Somebody trying to get rid of a body and they failed.
I wonder how many murders suitcases have actually been a part of.
It sounds like a lot.
I mean, there's 2 that I know of for sure, but I'm sure there's definitely more.
Sounds like a bad thing. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't
sound. Being claustrophobic, that's... I also want to know, what state she was found. Was she stabbed? Was she strangled? Was she shot? How far...
None of that information was volunteered.
None at all. They just said, oh yeah.
Unnamed female.
Got another body in a suitcase in the cemetery. Oh, well.
Got another 1050.
Yeah.
I
don't know police code.
I don't either. I just threw some numbers out there that felt right.
It's just not something... I don't understand. They got to give us something.
In the age range, 40 to 60.
That's a huge...
That is a big gap.
Which makes me believe that it's probably some sort of skeleton or mostly decomposed.
Right.
Because if they're unidentified, that means they got to be probably decayed a little bit. That suitcase probably smells disgusting. Definitely wouldn't resell that.
No. Nope.
But also, they usually have a wide age range for that when it's a skeleton of some sort, because that's the kind of DNA that they can pull off.
There's bones that you look at them and you can only tell so much.
Yeah,
because somebody could have some sort of disease that you don't know, and then their bones are decaying faster than they should be.
But then, even then, why wouldn't they say?
Yeah, they would know. They would be able to note a disease like that. But
yeah, well, why wouldn't they say what the body was found in? Was this body mutilated and just ripped apart?
Yeah, because you'd be able to tell if it was chopped up into pieces before it was put in there.
Yeah, even if it was a skeleton. Yeah. That would be a gross find.
Yeah, there's nothing good about this. And then on March 20th, New Haven, Connecticut, Denise Leary, female, 59, was found. Now, this one seems to have the most information so far. So this is 156 miles from Plymouth and 50 miles from Groton. So it's pretty close to the Groton one, but not so much
the Plymouth.
Right. So, like, if somebody were to drive this, they're doing a lot of backtrack.
Unless they're not. Because, as you can, I have a map pulled up, by the way, of all the spots with the markers. That's the order they found the bodies.
Right.
That's not necessarily the order that this person killed them in. That's just when they were found. So he could have just went through and killed them in like a straight line. And this is when they're now finding them.
And actually, considering you say that, and that this person has the most information about her. Her remains were found near a wooded area near a home in an advanced state of decay.
What does that mean?
It's a very, very strange way of saying there's not much left. Like, I feel like that has to be a politically correct phrase. It says that she disappeared in September.
Of what year?
Last year.
So
2024.
So wow, bodies do decay fast.
But think of winter. Do you remember the Mercy Brown vampire that we talked about in Rhode Island, where her family were all suffering from a disease, and for some reason they blamed her, even though she was dead, and they dug her up in winter, and they were like, she hasn't decayed. She must be a vampire.
Oh, I faintly remember that. I'm not going to say I remember that fully, but...
They believed she was a vampire because her body didn't decay because she was frozen.
Yeah, bodies don't really decay in the winter.
Right, because they're frozen. So if she disappeared in September, so say she was killed...
Winter was fairly close.
Yes, it's getting cold. Like,
yeah.
I don't think... We didn't have a very warm September. I feel like fall and winter came quickly.
Yeah, it was cold.
I feel like it
got cold quick.
Yes.
But then it also got kind of warm.
Yeah.
But then it also snowed in April, so it's like...
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. And now apparently it's summer in April. So, I don't know. I definitely think it's possible that she was killed in, let's call it late September, because we don't know when she was missing in September. Say she was killed in late September, dumped out in the woods, and then her body kept freezing, thawing, freezing, and then finally thawing and actually decaying. So it left her in an advanced state of decay.
That's very interesting.
By March 20th.
That doesn't sound right.
Why? What do you mean?
Decaying that fast? That doesn't sound... sounds too quick.
I think so.
With how cold it got at some points?
Yeah, but she was frozen only up to a point. It's not like she's in a fridge or a freezer. It's not like she's in a cooler. It's not like she's, in a spot of constant warmth. Like, she could have been in the sun. Also,
sure, she had advanced decayed like this. Why did nobody smell this? I mean, this was found behind a home, correct?
Yeah.
How did nobody bat an eye of...
It depends on who lives there and like how close.
Yeah.
Like I got quite a few woods behind my house. Say it was 500 feet from my house.
That's not far.
No, it's not, but I'm not going to see it either.
No.
I might smell something funky and go, oh, what the heck do the neighbors do? Like I might do something like that, but I doubt I will go venturing into the woods to find it.
Yeah, no. If I smelled something that I thought was a decaying human, I'm not going in the woods.
Right.
I don't want to find a body.
Right. And there was an interesting tidbit that they did feel the need to point out for this woman, that she had paranoid schizophrenia.
What does that have anything to do with anything?
That's what I was thinking.
You're gonna give this so unneeded information, but not give any information on the other victims, and
right. So, like I said, this person seemed to have the most information.
Yeah, even unneeded information. Like,
right, like
what are you insinuating with saying that she has schizophrenia?
Right? Are they trying to like point people in the direction of this can't be a serial killer because she's got paranoid schizophrenia?
That doesn't make any sense.
Like, okay, but that doesn't mean somebody couldn't have murdered her. Like, that doesn't negate what could have happened.
Oh, she had a mental disease. She wasn't murdered.
Right. Like
what?
I feel like that's kind of where that was pointing at.
And like that was kind of in the middle of the investigations and the human remains being found. So maybe they were trying to like just oh no, she wasn't murdered.
Yeah.
She was just schizophrenia and battled demons in the woods and died. Like what?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that was their nice way of saying that. I don't buy that.
That's just like sure, she might have had schizophrenia, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that doesn't mean somebody couldn't have murdered her and left her there.
Yeah. And especially since she was in the age range of 40 to 60, it seems like most of the people that are being found are women in their 40s to 60s.
Yeah, because there's a few more that we'll get to that are still in the unknown stage. They have not released who they may be.
Yeah.
What they don't even know if they're male or they have not released whether or not they are male or female. They probably know because they feel like, well, I guess you can't really tell by a skull, the top of a skull, if a gender of a human. If there's DNA remaining, I bet you could, but if it's just a skull, I'm not so sure. And then the next victim was found on March 26th in Foster, Rhode Island. This is Michelle Romano, female, 56.
40 to 60 age range, woman.
Yep, she was found 8 months after she had disappeared. Also found in a wooded area.
And was another person that was missing. So that's 2 missing people.
Yep.
Oh, technically 3, right? Because of the September 2024 one? Wasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically they're all considered missing.
That's true, unless somebody reported them missing.
Well, I mean, they could have been, because some of these are unknown.
Yeah.
Actually, most of them have been. Like the one with just the partial skull, she was unknown, or that person was unknown.
Yeah.
The Groton, Connecticut, that was an unnamed female.
So missing persons is, I guess, kind of a given for something like this.
Right.
But
especially if they're so decayed that you can't recognize who they are.
And then wooded area.
The easiest way to dispose of somebody, I guess. I mean, I've been out in the woods a lot lately. Like we've also been out in the woods a lot trying to.
I don't know how much longer we're going to be out in the woods.
Right? Oh my goodness.
Springfield, Mass. That's a little close.
We're not in the age range though. We might be okay. I'm getting close, but leave me alone. Leave me alone. Shh. Don't do it.
Unless we accidentally witness something, then we're not safe. I don't even know what I would do if I witnessed something like that. I'd probably just be in such shock. I'd just
drop.
Faint. Yeah.
And then April 9th, Killingly, Connecticut. Unknown. An unknown remains were found.
Thank you, police department.
Right? I don't understand.
You're making me feel real safe. I'll just keep my doors unlocked.
You know.
Oh yeah, we found some bodies. We don't know. Yeah. But it's not a serial killer. Don't worry. Yeah. They just died and there's foul places. But no, it's okay.
Yep. Nope.
Go on walks in the woods. Go on walks. End up on the news.
You're fine.
Oh, what's that? Another body's been discovered? Oh. No, I'm not going to tell you anything about it.
So the last victim that was found was in Springfield. Megan Meredith, 45. Right in that age range.
40 to 60.
Yep.
Woman.
Yep. And she was found in a bike path, unresponsive. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner is performing an autopsy in connection with that investigation. And it is now being investigated by homicide investigators.
Interesting. So
I just don't...
shot?
Exactly. They stated no reason as to why homicide investigators were necessary. So maybe this woman, I don't know, she was on her bike, overexerted herself, went into cardiac arrest, and somebody found her. Or, things like that happen.
Yeah. But it's when they just drop the random bombshell. Oh, yeah. She's dead. and homicide is investigating her. Why?
I don't know.
Like, what about her death are you investigating? Was she found stabbed? Was she found shot? Was she found drugged? I don't even know.
I don't either.
Like, why are you putting homicide into this and not, like...
I don't know.
This would make me angry.
So I was definitely really skeptical when you mentioned this to me a couple weeks ago, whenever it was.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
But now looking into it, it is definitely bizarre. But also, on the other hand, is this maybe just something that the news is focusing on? Like, is this like a smoke and mirrors trick where, all right, you need to look at this hand because I'm pulling a fast one on you with the other hand.
Like, kind of hiding something else that's going on,
right?
Like the news likes to do. Like how at the beginning of the year they were focused on plane crashes, which at the time I was very scared of, but then I realized plane crashes, I mean, accidents, they happen.
Yeah.
But the news was just focused on it.
Somebody showed me a map of these places that the bodies were found.
Right.
Earlier today. And my first thought, seeing this map all over the place, was a truck driver. Somebody that drives 18-wheelers.
I actually like your theory of that.
Because they really have the access to all of these roads. And I don't know if you've ever talked to a truck driver.
They're a little strange.
They know how, well, that's not where I was going, but they can be.
Oh.
They know how to get around.
Yeah.
Like, they know all these shortcuts. They know where their truck's going to fit. They know where their truck isn't going to fit. And they will remember those roads. Like, it's a particular
their job
kind of...
to know
exactly
where to go.
I bet you they could tell you what potholes are in their road and when to switch lanes to avoid that pothole. I bet you they could tell you those things.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what kind of route could drive somebody all over like that.
But like a truck driver is very plausible. Also, my map just changed a little bit. I had the last location wrong.
Oh.
I'm glad I looked at that. So.
That looks...
even similar. More similar.
That looks very similar to the other theory that we had.
Which I'm going to wait to talk about. Because
it's my favorite one.
I want to talk about the truck driver one.
Okay.
More.
I mean, I guess both could be true.
Ooh.
Both could be true.
Because it's other... anyways. Truck driver. So, my dad used to be a truck driver. And I know that he would have to drive all over all the time. From that, like the map, I have like the closest the police have said what it is. Like
the closest destination, you mean? Of not destination, the closest to the location of where the bodies were found.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like for Plymouth, it said it was found off of the road of Route 3A. So I looked that up. And a close spot by the woods is the High Point Treatment Center, which is on Route 3A in Plymouth. And then Riverside Avenue, Norwalk, Connecticut, is like exactly where someone was found. Groton, Connecticut is just...
Oh, Groton. It was woods again, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, was that the river one?
No. Was it? No, I don't think so.
No, the second one was the river.
Yeah, Riverside Avenue. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The fourth one, Rock Creek Road, New Haven, Connecticut. That's the exact spot. Scarborough State Beach was one of the spots as well. Killingly, Connecticut. That's the exact spot. And then Springfield, Massachusetts is just vague. It doesn't say where.
It's a bike trail.
Yeah. So really only Groton and Springfield are the only vague ones on this map. But this, like, the spots that I just listed, that order, that's only when the bodies were found, not necessarily when they were killed.
Right.
So, like, this might seem like it's all over, but if it is a truck drivers go all over. And if it's not, this guy could have just done it in one straight line, and now they're finding bodies.
Right, because when they were found isn't necessarily the order they were
killed.
Right.
Especially with how vague they're being about the information, we don't actually have a map of when they were killed. We just know when they were found.
Right. Now, I wonder, is there lack of information because they don't have enough information?
See, I would be like, yeah, probably. But, like, especially with the Springfield one, homicide, why?
I know, she was found near a bike path. Like,
Yeah.
was she stabbed? Which, I mean, it is Springfield.
Stereotypical, but true.
Springfield has a reputation.
Yeah.
But it is strange that they didn't say she was unresponsive due to stab wounds. She was unresponsive due to...
She was found...
like in a puddle of blood. Like,
yeah, something.
There was no... I don't know. I think all of them really have their own vagueness. Like, even from just simply, we don't know. We don't know who this is. It's been found.
Yeah.
We'll look into it. Like, we'll send you an email. Like, what?
I don't know why they were being so vague. It's honestly kind of annoying. Like, obviously, I just want to know. But it's like, they're being vague about weird stuff. Like that. Also, they are just refusing to say the possibility of a serial killer.
Right.
Which is weird.
Right, and even one of the articles I read said that I think he was a detective, said that he would absolutely claim it to be a serial killer if he believed it was, because then he would get more resources.
Would you though? Or are you just saying that so people feel more comfortable?
Yeah. I don't know. But I guess what do they have to gain by saying it's not a serial killer so adamantly? Like, what do they gain? Like, people are already panicked about it, so if it's to avoid panic, because they've already lost that battle.
Yeah, but people are panicking about rumors. And rumors, like, if you say I started actually, like I'm a little freaked out, because it is a huge possibility that there is a serial killer. But it's like, I'm not, like, freaking out, like, boarding up windows and stuff. And this is going to make sense in a second. Say, like... So, like, rumors. Someone's getting freaked out by rumors. Someone can talk sense into them by saying it's just rumors. But if the police then come out by saying it is a serial killer, then they're going to have that reason to be fearful like that. Like, what... I'm saying this poorly. They don't have a reason to be fearful right now. Not
a solid one.
Yeah, not a solid reason.
Right.
But, like, if the police came out and said that, people, I feel like, would be a lot more panicked.
Right.
Like, if they came out and said, yeah, there's a serial killer, think of all, like, the rednecks going out and, like...
Oh, yeah, I know. People...
trying to be Dexter or...
Yeah, because then you'll have everybody on edge, and then you will have, especially in New England.
Yes. Everybody's
going to be getting their weapon of choice and attacking anyone that looks at them sideways.
Yeah.
So,
like, I feel like that's kind of what I'm trying to, like... I said it poorly, but...
No, I get what you mean. Picking up what you're putting down.
They're rumors for now, so, like, people can still talk sense into people, but if they just outright say serial killer, people are going to become even more panicked and actually just lose it.
I'm going to jump out of left field here.
Oh, boy.
What if it's aliens?
What? That is so out of...
I wasn't even in the park on that one.
That wasn't even a home run.
Yeah, like what if it's because I think the FBI is involved in a lot of these. I wonder, maybe it is something strange. Maybe it is something.
You know what? Now I kind of see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, what if it is something that they don't know?
I mean, it's absolutely outlandish, and maybe the information they're saying is kind of made up, and that's why there isn't a lot.
What do you mean made up?
Like, maybe they are just kind of making up this information because they're saying, oh, a lot of decay. Or what did they say exactly? It was
advanced state of decay.
Yeah. Like, they're using that. So maybe...
So are you saying that the bodies aren't found at all?
No, I'm saying they are, but they don't know how they were killed, and that's why they are, like, freaked out, maybe.
So you're saying that they're killed by something...
I'm going along with your theory.
Right. So I'm just trying to figure out where your brain's going with this.
I'm not
so you're saying
sure
that
either.
they were killed in an unnatural way?
Yes. And they are trying to make... They're
making it seem as normal as possible?
Yes. And that is the best way they can describe it. Like, maybe this body is just pieces. So weird. They're just like, decay, advanced. Yeah, that's all we got.
Yeah.
And then, like, the suitcase one, they were, like, unknown.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it is I don't even want to even think of that. Like,
I don't know.
Like,
It's an escaped project.
Mush.
I know we talk about those a lot. Escaped projects.
Yes.
That's possible. It's going out on a rampage, and
I wouldn't necessarily say...
Maybe it's like a Jekyll and Hyde situation where, like, it has human moments, and maybe it hitches rides on trucks, or like, you know, hitchhiking, or just simply walking, and then it goes crazy, it accidentally kills somebody, and then it comes back, and it's like, oh no, what did I do? And then it dumps it.
And then also when it goes back into its state of monster, it eats. That's interesting. Something supernatural.
It's a fun twist. There you go. Congratulations. But we did also have another more down to earth theory.
I really like this theory because I think it's absolutely something.
It's definitely intriguing.
What if this New England serial killer was a Zodiac copycat?
I could totally see that. Because there was just the Zodiac killer biography on Netflix,
the
right?
Zodiac has been popping off the past year for some reason. And someone could have got a little obsessed.
Yep.
A little crazy even. Decided to try and mimic the murders in some shape or form. But then they went way overboard.
Yeah.
The reason I say this was because when I was putting the map together for where the bodies were found, I realized that some of the places the victims were found, like decayed and whatever, kind of were similar to where the Zodiac's victims were found. The one that stuck out to me was for the New England serial killer guy or whatever, Scarborough State Beach. There was a victim found there. And that made me remember Lake Berryessa, the Zodiac murders. It just kind of reminded me of that for some reason. So after I had placed the map together for the New England one, I looked up a map of the Zodiac's victims. And I realized they're not insanely far off.
They are a little bit different, but they are also quite similar.
They are similar. And, like, the Zodiac murders took place in, like, California. This is taking place in the New England area.
Unfortunately, however, those are a lot closer together. I think the furthest one from that center point, it's 63 miles?
Yeah.
We have almost 200 miles away from some of these.
So what if we're both right? What if it's a Zodiac truck driver?
got a little too obsessed with his Netflix account.
Yeah.
Got a little too attached to that Zodiac documentary they did.
So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but at least 2 of these crimes committed in the New England area, I don't think could possibly be a serial killer.
No? Why?
Only because with the 2 bodies that were found in the woods...
Well, we didn't count those ones, though.
Yeah, we did.
That would have made 9. I mean, that would have made 10.
No, it wouldn't have.
The 2 bodies? Yeah. Salem was not part of the list I gave you.
Then what was this one? Oh, the Groton one.
Ah.
That one... So the Salem one was a completely different thing, but the Groton, Connecticut one, the suitcase in the cemetery, I think that one was, right?
Unnamed female.
Yeah.
Body in a suitcase, yep.
The Groton police have arrested a man that was accused of killing that woman in the suitcase. And this was 3 hours ago.
Oh, wow. Did they name her? Did they finally release who she was? Oh, yeah, there it is. Up. Yep.
Died as 58-year-old, so in the 40 to 60 age range, yet again, Suzanne Wormser. So I'm actually kind of curious to see how the rest of these days play out. Because it's in the same age range, and now if this is actually the person that killed this woman, I'm wondering if it's the person that killed the other people as well.
So did he know her? Like, was he familiar with her? Or was he just somebody passing through?
Yeah, they knew each other.
But it said the incident was not connected to any other missing person cases.
I'm not really trusting them right now.
Right? It feels like they're trying to dispel the serial killer really, really hard.
But why?
Well, I mean, you just told me why.
Yeah,
like
I guess
10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But also, yes, why? Like, why? Like, they're
why are they
trying
so adamant
hard.
about saying that there is not a possibility that there is a serial killer out there?
I guess to avoid panic, like you said. Like, that's really, I don't know. And then, you know what? It doesn't even really say why or how they knew each other.
They're still being vague, even after someone was arrested.
And then police said they found some unusual items during their search, but they did not
say what those items were.
What?
But they were sent to a lab for analysis. So
like, what does that even mean? Were they building
voodoo crap or like something like?
No, I was going back. Well, I mean, maybe it's witchcraft, but I was going back to the alien thing. Maybe they were building like human hybrids or like some crazy shit. You know, maybe they had
that's possible.
Yeah, maybe they had like cages in a lab. I don't know.
Like, I don't even think it would be drugs either.
I know, because they would have said that.
Yeah, they would have said, "Oh yeah, cocaine and heroin were found," or something
drug
like
paraphernalia,
that.
or something.
And like they usually post up with a picture.
Yeah,
like
all proud of themselves.
Yeah.
So,
but unusual is in quotes, so that's most of what they said exactly. Oh yeah, unusual items. Like, what does that mean?
Right? It was it's literally quoted.
Unusual is one of those words. It's like you can't like. It's like the word inappropriate. Like, what's inappropriate? That's like an opinion word. I feel like.
Unusual.
Like, what do you find unusual?
Yeah.
What you find unusual, I may not find unusual.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. If police are saying it's unusual, it's probably unusual. But
right. But why is it something worth keeping from the public?
Dun dun dun.
And how are you going to test it in a lab? Yeah,
like, what is it?
Is it just an item?
But like
literally an item? Like a book? You can't test that in a lab. What are you going to test it for? Ink?
It doesn't make sense.
No.
Oh, maybe it's a knife, but like...
But then they would have said weapons found.
Not unusual things. Weapons are not unusual to find. Weapons can be literally anything. I could use a book as a weapon.
Right.
Like...
There's a lot of books in here, in case anybody's curious. There's a lot of books in here.
That's what I was just using.
I just used it too. Yes, exactly. anything could be used as a weapon. So unusual. What could be considered an unusual item used in a home?
I can't even think.
No.
My mind's just going to voodoo crap.
Right? And even if there was like a ridiculous stash of money, they would have said
money.
There was X amount of money found here, and I'm
why
sure
would
X
that need to be tested?
X amount of kilograms of XYZ. Yeah. Like they would have mentioned these things. They're just feeding the rumors now.
Like, what do you find unusual?
Yeah.
Like I said, that's one of those words. It's an opinionated word.
Yeah, even the definition is, something that a police officer deems out of place.
What is out of place?
Exactly.
I just don't understand what they are trying to say. Because then that also kind of feeds into your theory about it being something supernatural or something they can't explain.
Right.
Because that is something unusual.
Yes.
That they would need to send to a lab for analysis. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't need to send drugs. They wouldn't need to send like some sort of book. They wouldn't need to send some sort of anything.
Counterfeit, purses or shoes or, something like that.
So like, I feel like in investigations like this and like press releases, I feel like the details should matter a little bit more than what they're.
Does it say how I still haven't seen anything about it saying how they knew each other.
I don't think it's going to. They can't even tell us what they found.
It doesn't even, you know what? I don't even think it mentions how he killed her.
What the hell did this guy tamper with? It says he is being charged with tampering with physical evidence. What did he tamper with? Why is it not saying what he tampered with?
Maybe he cleaned up her murder scene. Maybe that's what it's referring to.
Maybe. And then also, what I thought was interesting is you can be charged with improper disposal of a body. Didn't realize that there was a proper disposal of a body.
So let me ask you this. Do you think they would consider it proper disposal if you brought it to get embalmed and then you buried it? Or if you cremated it, do you think that would be considered proper disposal of a body? And you wouldn't be charged with it even if you murdered them?
Yeah, that's such an odd charge.
I feel like that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, that's not wrapped in with murder?
During the news conference, officials debunked rumors about a possible serial killer in the area. They said the fear-mongering on social media has made the city seem unsafe and stated the rumors are untrue.
I don't see that as debunking rumors. Debunking would be providing full proof of
it not
correct.
So what are they giving me that's steering me away from the serial killer thing?
I guess they caught one of the people, maybe.
Ooh, out of what, 8 victims?
So far, yeah.
They caught one person. That's connected to one of the 8.
Yeah. Dude, if this guy comes out as a truck driver, sold. He did them all.
He very well could have. Investigators identified. I'm gonna look him up.
And I really think it only says that he's connected because somebody said that he was. Like,
yeah,
somebody came forward
line.
Somebody came forward with information.
And then he said he admitted to it. He admitted to murder. He didn't say a murder. He didn't say the murder. He said to murder, which is interesting.
68.
Man was almost 70 murdering?
What?
Oh, they were living together. Why does this news article have more information? 6-week-long investigation. They made an arrest. Okay, so it says after a 6-week-long investigation, Groton police have made an arrest in a case that had rumors of a serial killer swirling on social media. 1 of the 8 cases.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't debunk them all.
I find it wild that he's a 68-year-old man.
Yeah. So they were living together. It says neighbors said they knew there was an issue when they hadn't seen Wormser for a while. Sue always had the same routine. She did the same thing. So when I stopped seeing her around the community, I just knew something was wrong, said Stephanie. Case came from a tip line phone call. Another tip led police to the Allen Street home just down the block identified Koffel as a suspect. I'm assuming that's supposed to say. Koffel told the police that she had vacated the apartment already and was no longer here, but I knew that something was wrong because she was a widow and wasn't going anywhere. She was part of the community and it didn't seem like something she'd do, Stephanie said. Stephanie said she was one of the tip line calls. She was so concerned she began taking notes detailing what she knew. We got a little detective over here.
Yeah, I definitely think it's strange that they did this investigation for 6 weeks. And this person was close enough to know her daily routine. But it took them 6 weeks to arrest this guy?
Yeah.
So what prevented that?
Why wouldn't they know of him knowing this lady? Like, what took them so long to identify her?
I don't know.
I mean, I know they said brutally, but...
Well, I mean, I guess he didn't report her missing, so I don't know what other kind of family she might have had. But it said she was widowed, so I'm assuming whoever... There was no one else there, so I don't think it specified her having any kids. So if there was no one other than the person that murdered her to worry about her...
Yeah.
Although, I'm guessing she had a routine. Does she have a job?
Maybe. Nobody even...
They weren't concerned that she stopped showing up without notice?
That's very odd.
That is odd.
Also, this lady, Stephanie... Oh, I knew something was wrong. I hate when people say that after something goes bad. Oh, the signs were there. Were they? Were they?
Then like, where were you? Where were you with your flags?
Like, seriously, yeah. I hate when people do that. The suspect was interviewed for a third time, and at that time, he confessed to the murder.
There's that phrase again, fear-mongering, taking place on social media.
Doing this investigation. So, the rumors on social media do not only surround this investigation. There is 7 others. What is this guy talking about?
I know. I wonder what was happening specifically towards the Groton Police Department to make him say that. Were there other things happening? Because there's no way that this singular murder can make people go that crazy. Because
it also says making the city and surrounding communities seem like unsafe places to live. So what else was happening?
These are almost 200 miles away in some cases. Surrounding communities?
Like what? So what else is happening in Groton?
I don't know. And there's that fear-mongering thing again. So if it was just the one, and actually I just remembered the thought. If she had gone missing like this and nobody reported her missing.
For months, I think they said, right?
Yeah. So people are concerned about the police response. Shouldn't you're sounding like you want to be a tight-knit community here. But you didn't notice that this 58-year-old woman was missing for months.
And sure, you can say, oh, but the guy that killed her was saying that she moved. And that's fine, whatever. Believe that. But then there's also Stephanie over here that said that there was just something wrong. She didn't care to investigate in some sort of way. She's
probably also a 60-year-old woman.
If she's anything like the around 60-year-old woman I know, she would have been...
Get her binoculars out?
Yeah. And just like calling, maybe. But like, I don't know, something. Because like, the 60-year-old woman I know thought that something was wrong. She would say something.
I don't know. They're definitely all weird circumstances.
They are.
And hopefully in the coming weeks we can find a happy ending for those left behind.
I don't know if I would call it happy, but like justice. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
closure.
Yes, because... And hopefully no more remains.
Yeah. I feel like it would be kind of crazy if that was actually the guy and he ended up being a serial killer and a truck driver.
A weird part of me would be impressed. Because he was a 68-year-old man driving around New England, murdering women half his age.
One
of them was 35.
Really? Interesting. I really like the truck driver theory. I like the Zodiac theory, like the copycat. I feel like that is very possible.
Absolutely.
The supernatural one is interesting. I don't know how possible that one is, but
anything's possible.
It's interesting for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, it could be possible.
It's my favorite.
It makes sense with how vague the police are being.
All the weird facts. Trying to brush it away.
Yeah.
Like, nope, nothing to see here. Moving on. Hopefully these families will have some closure in the coming weeks.
Hopefully even days.
Yes.
I am intrigued to see how the rest of this plays out, to see if there's any more remains found within, I don't know, I guess the next month. And I'm also interested to see if this guy says anything about possibly killing the other 7, because then police are going to look a little dumb.
Yeah, and they're going to have a lot of explaining to do if, you know, they said that they believed it to be a serial killer and they didn't inform anybody. That's a lot of police departments.
It's a lot that's going to have to make statements for sure.
And apologies. I'm sure the FBI, I think they're involved with some of them.
Maybe it's not a serial killer. Maybe it's just
randos. And they're just surfacing all at the same time. Unfortunately, this is a true tale untold.
Yeah, and hopefully the tale will be told of what is actually happening. It is definitely a little freaky. Especially with it getting even closer now.
Yeah, you can stay out of Massachusetts, thanks.
We don't need any killers here.
No.
Even though there have already been plenty.
Oh, I'm sure. But that's a rabbit hole for another day. Believe it or not, this has been episode 1 of season 3.
This has definitely been very interesting. And this is still an ongoing investigation as we're speaking about it. So there will probably be a part 2 at some point.
Yeah, we'll do an update at some point. Hopefully good news that whoever has been caught.
And hopefully it's within this season.
Yes. This has been Tales Untold. I'm Erica.
And I'm Wyatt.
Thanks for listening.